What's going on, family? Johnny and Trevor, we are back, and once again we are on the far west side, but we are slowly moving a little bit more east. We're going to continue on our series of new construction homes, and today we are in Stillwater Ranch and we're looking at a beautiful David Weekley. I don't think we've done a David Weekley home before.
Not yet, man, and I'm excited too because I thought about buying a David Weekley home and I really liked it, so I can't wait to show you guys why this is different than all the others.
Once again, I do not think you're going to be disappointed. There are just some great builders here in San Antonio. We've looked at Perry, we looked at Beezer last week. We've looked at a lot of great homes, and once again, we're coming through with that David Weekley, and the price point is amazing. You are not gonna wanna miss it. Let's do it, guys.
Alright guys, today we're talking about Stillwater Ranch. So let's go ahead and head on over to the map and take a look at where everything is around it. Alright guys, so here's our map of San Antonio in a whole. Now Stillwater Ranch is actually going to be located right where I'm putting this star on the map. Now while this is considered the far west side, you'll notice that we're starting to move a little bit more east and kind of along that 1604 corridor to show you more of these neighborhoods. But this one shares a lot of those same far west side amenities, which is really, really nice. Now living in Stillwater Ranch is only going to put you about 30 to 35 minutes or so away from the airport, which is going to be right over here. It's going to put you about the same distance, about 30 to 35 minutes away from downtown, which is going to be over here. And if you are working at Lackland Air Force Base, that's going to put you about 25 minutes or so away, which is going to be right down here. If you do need to head into downtown or get to the central of San Antonio for any reason whatsoever, the nice thing is that you're not that far away from Highway 151, which is a highway that takes you straight into the middle of downtown. And if that gets crowded, you can always come down a little bit further south to Highway 90, take that all the way into the city. And finally, if something is wrong with those two roads, you can always come all the way up here to I-10 and take that straight into town. So it doesn't matter where in the city you're trying to go, there's always going to be a good way to get there from Stillwater Ranch. All right, so as you're looking in Stillwater Ranch on a map, it's going to be in this area right over here, in between Culebra and Shanefield Road and Gulm Road as well. Those are three prominent roads over here on the far west side. Now, living over here is really cool because you have access to a lot of different things. Your nearest grocery store is going to be H-E-B, and that's maybe 5 to 10 minutes away. It's going to be located right down here. But if you don't want to go to that one, there is an H-E-B Plus, which is basically the same grocery store but a lot bigger, sort of Texified, if you will. And that's going to be about 15 minutes away right here at Bandera and 1604. If you are looking for shopping and entertainment, it's all going to be right here in this Alamo Ranch Shopping Center. You're going to have restaurants, you're going to have shops, you're going to have a Home Depot, a Lowe's, lots of different food choices, and they have a really cool movie theater. And actually they have bowling alleys and arcades and stuff inside the movie theater. So it's more than that, but you can have a lot going on if you're living over here. Now, one other thing I do want to point out about Stillwater Ranch is that you are right down the street from Government Canyon State Natural Area. Now, this area has really, really cool trails and hiking paths and everything, and it even has dinosaur footprints. So it's a really good spot to take your kids on the weekend if you're looking to get somewhere outdoors and do some fun stuff. So Stillwater Ranch is super convenient if you do have school-age kids because you're gonna have an elementary school that's located within the community. That's gonna be Scarborough Elementary. So you don't even have to leave your neighborhood whenever you're taking your kids to school in the morning. No commute. And this is almost gonna be exactly the same thing with the middle school. Now this is going to be John Folks Middle School, which is going to be in the neighborhood across the street on Gulm Road. So again, less than a 2-minute drive to that school, so super convenient. You don't have to go super out of your way. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, the high school as well is located inside of this neighborhood. This is going to be Sotomayor High School. Now, all of these are going to be Northside Independent School District schools, pretty highly rated districts, so it's going to be really, really good to go. And again, if you have kids in that school age range, this is going to be an amazing neighborhood for you. Obviously, we touched on the community amenities, but the amenities within Stillwater Ranch are really impressive. Stillwater Ranch actually has 2 different amenity centers, aka 2 pools, 2 parks, in 2 separate areas of the community. One is going to be on this kind of south side of the community, and then there's going to be a second one over here on the north side of that community. So you're going to have access to it regardless of where you live within Stillwater Ranch, but it is really nice to know that you have options. One of the pools is an Olympic-sized pool, and obviously it's used for exercising, things like that, but then there's another one that's got a little waterfall, it's got some toys, kind of a splash pad, so really, really cool. This neighborhood has a lot of perks. All right, guys, so we talked about Stillwater Ranch and where everything is on a map. So let's head out to that community and see exactly what it has to offer. All right, guys, so we're here in Stillwater Ranch. If you notice in our videos, we were pretty harping hard on the far west side, and we're slowly starting to make our way eastbound a little bit. And this is, we're getting into that northwest side, although I still think it's considered far west. We're gonna be on the other side of Alamo Ranch from some of those other ones that we've been filming. But I gotta tell you, man, this is a nice neighborhood. As you can see, there's tons of new construction going up here, so hopefully you guys can hear us. But overall, man, this neighborhood has really good builders and it shows. So you're gonna have builders like Coventry, David Weekley, Perry, and Chesmar in this community. And I think all of those are like top-notch builders, man. What do you think so far?
I like it, man. You know, the neighborhood is super nice. Out here, looking in the distance, you can kind of see Government Canyon State Natural Area, which is super cool. But the neighborhood itself is very nice. Now, Stillwater Ranch is a really established neighborhood. Yep. But it's still got a lot of developing going on. So, you know, I'm sure
there's room for growth.
Yeah, and the people who have lived here for the last few years, I mean, they've seen an incredible amount of appreciation on their homes. And I think that even if you're just getting into the neighborhood, you're going to continue to see appreciation in your home for a while. So I like it.
I agree, man. I think it's really nice. And not to mention, you're only a few minutes away from the Alamo Ranch Shopping Center, which has tons of stuff, man. I mean, that's got really good restaurants. It's got shopping. It's got food. It's got just about anything you need. So this is a really cool area of town. I like it. Yep. As you can see, they're super busy. So you know that this is going to be a really good neighborhood. Oh, not to mention, there's a school in this neighborhood. It's Sotomayor Middle School.
Yep.
First of all, you like the way I said that?
Man, you got that accent.
Sotomayor.
You got that accent.
What happens when you live in San Antonio. You'll get it. Really cool. So if you have kids in that middle school age, this is going to be a great option for you. So man, overall first impressions, I'm pretty happy with it.
I like it, man.
Cool. All right, well,
let's go check out this house.
Yeah, let's go do it, man.
Front door open.
All right, first of all, great security system. I'm not saying that comes standard, but I love it. I love the alertness. So as soon as you come in, the first thing you're gonna notice is this tile that looks identical to hardwood floors. Now, Johnny, I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of the tile. But the one gripe that I do have about it is that it gets dirty quick.
Yeah, you know? I like this tile because it does resemble like a hardwood floor. You know, I'm a big fan of the luxury vinyl because tile to me seems cold. I don't like to wear like house shoes in the house. I don't like to wear socks. So sometimes tile can feel just a little bit too cold for me, but I love the look of this and I would not be opposed to having this at all.
Well, here's the thing, you're cold-blooded anyway, so, you know, if you're cold-blooded in the cold, I mean, I've seen you wear jackets in the summer, so to be honest with you, I can't trust what you're saying. That being said, whenever you do come in, the nice thing is that you have your half bathroom right off to the left side whenever you first come in, right off that entryway. So that way you don't have to have guests if they're, you know, not super welcome, but you don't have to have them run through your house and whatnot. Now, this right here is where the sales representatives are going to be, but it is going to be the garage, and this is where your 2-car garage.
So is this going to be a solid wall right here?
With the door, yes.
Yeah, oh, so this would be a solid wall right here.
Yep.
Yeah, and then kind of going back to that half bath right there when you walk in. I like that because when you're trying to push guests out of your house and they need to use the bathroom first, they're right by the front door. So it's like, hey, use the bathroom and then just keep
and then go on with your bad self.
Exactly.
I feel you on that one. So right here, you got the stairs. Another nice thing right in front. So that way you don't have to have, you know, whenever your kids come home, they don't have to run through the house and waking everybody up, right?
Right. Now, what do you have right there to your right? Is that
so right here, this is just going to be a standard closet. Coat closet, you know, good size, nothing too crazy, nothing, you know, regular standard coat closet. As you come in, this puts you right in the center of the main portions of the house. Now, you're gonna notice that it's an open concept floor plan, but the house kind of goes backwards. It's not one big square. This is gonna be more rectangular. Over here, you're gonna have your dining room, but you're gonna have it with the nice windows that bring in all that natural light. And off to your right-hand side, you're gonna have this kitchen. And again, while it is open, I like the way that it seems to take up a less of a footprint, if you ask me, for the downstairs.
Yes, and once again, kind of like the last house that we looked at here a week or two ago, I'm a big fan of islands, and I like good-sized islands. This one, you're able to put 4 bar stools up to it. I mean, you know, we're a homeschool family. We're always home. And I like having my kids around. When I'm in the morning, when I wake up and I'm cooking breakfast, and my kids can kind of just like sit at the island while I'm doing breakfast, I can talk to them. They might get started on their schoolwork early and they're right there. I love it, dude.
Dude, it's really good, man. In my opinion, I like having this in a good-sized dining room more than I like having a dining room and then a separate breakfast nook. I think this makes more sense. So kudos to David Weekley for doing that. that. Now, the way David Weekley works, they have different elevations of floor plans, right, as far as the interior and some of the things that you can get involved with the house. Now, this one is a beautiful quartz countertop, and you can see this thing is thick, man. This is really good quality. David Weekley is a builder that's known for having really good quality while at the same time being super energy efficient. Now, if you'll realize in one of the last videos that we recently did, we did talk about another very energy efficient builder that was going to be Beezer. Whenever you get a chance, you can go check that out. But David Weekley is, I would say, quality-wise, might be even a step above that. However, they pride themselves on being very energy efficient as well. And a lot of that is due to the construction of the floor plans. While a lot of builders use 2x4s in the framing of their houses, David Weekley likes to use 2x6s, which make everything very energy efficient in the house. So expect low electric bills, especially if you don't want to have solar. This may be a great alternative for you.
Now, what do you have over there behind the kitchen there? Looks like the laundry room.
It is. So your laundry room is going to be back here. And to be honest with you, it's not too huge, but the cool thing about it is that as you go in here, you have a whole counter, which is an option to have built out. You have a nice counter space in here, so you can still fold your clothes, but it's not big enough to where you're gonna fold them and leave them for a week and forget where they are.
So what I'm a big fan of though, and you know, of course, that it could either, it might be standard, I'm not sure, but at least an option, you can get the cabinets.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, so many houses we look at, the homes are amazing, but they don't have cabinets in the laundry room. And man, just having some storage to put your cleaning supplies, not one of those wire shelves there.
That's not good.
You know, that's what we've got in our house when we bought it, and I hate it.
We have the same.
Yeah, so I love the cabinets.
I'm with you on that. You have your space for your fridge right here, but you also have a coffee bar next to that space, so you don't have to have it in the way of everything if you're trying to cut stuff up. It's fantastic. Now, this is gonna be a gas community, which is huge. Johnny, you know how I feel about cooking on gas. I'm a
big fan of it myself.
I'm a big fan of the gas. That being said though, big perks about living here in Stillwater Ranch is this is gas communities. And some of these communities over here in this area, they're not all gas communities, which I find kind of strange. You can be in a gas community and then have a community right next to it that's not gas, that's electric.
We've been in some communities where some of, like, the front part of the neighborhood is gas, the other part is electric. So that, I mean, that kind of sucks. Now, I think that's gonna be entrance to the garage right there.
This is your garage entrance?
That would be your garage entrance. Now, I'm gonna take a look over here real quick.
Absolutely.
And this is going to be your pantry. Let's take a look. What's the size? Decent sized pantry. You know, it's a little bit deep. I mean, we've seen some where they're not corner pantries where they're real shallow. I mean, you know, so this one gives you a little bit of space. You can see that they're storing some cases of water in there, kind of give you an indication of how much space you have. Not too bad, kind of goes around to the side a little bit. So nice.
Overall, not bad, man. I think that pantry space is a big thing. It's a big deal to a lot of people, and I'm glad that they had that in there. So good sized living room, again, kind of puts you in the back center of the house relative to where everything is. Although there's one thing that's missing, and Johnny, I think you know where I'm gonna go with this.
Could it be the fireplace?
It could be the fireplace, and it is a fireplace.
There's no fireplace.
There's no fireplace, but again, you typically have an option with David Weekley to put things on like that. So maybe this house wasn't designed for somebody with a fireplace. Again, now this is the model floor plan, but that should be an option in several. I know I saw several smokestacks throughout this community and other home and floor plans, so know that that's an option for people like me. So let's take a look at the master bedroom, which is gonna be way back here. Now, something super cool that I love, man, look at these windows. Look how big they are. Like, especially this middle one right here. These are gonna be pretty standard as they're sectioned out, but look at how big this is. So obviously when you're sleeping, you don't want all that light. You wanna be able to have blackout curtains, but during the day, when you open this up, dude, this lights up the room and makes it feel really big.
This is amazing.
Especially in combination with that tray ceiling up there. Look at that, awesome.
And you know, of course, this is the model, so your view is gonna be, you know, the backyard's real shallow right there. You're gonna have view of like the street behind you. So depending on where this floor plan is built, you might have a great view. And you know, I've always imagined having windows like this, but having like a really scenic view behind the house, especially if you're elevated and you're just looking out.
Or like somewhere like Fair Oaks Ranch.
Yes.
Dude, could you imagine having that view behind
having windows like that in your bedroom?
So this is what I'm really excited about. Let's come take a look at the bathroom. Now, while the whole house is tile, this is gonna be another form of tile. Now, I love this bathroom. This is like really, really nice. You have this giant, I think they call it a super shower. Basically, it's a shower with enough space to fit, you know, you and somebody else if you decide to shower with somebody else, or you just feel like stretching out when you get clean. Again, you have this nice quartz. Again, this is a little bit thinner than what we had in the kitchen, but it's still really nice. Good sink, countertops, and cupboards and cabinets and all that stuff. But what's really cool is while you do have this closet space, this water closet over here, and that's nice, you do have this giant closet in here with a lot of built-ins, and this is where it's at. I mean, look how deep this is, man. This is what, like probably 15, what do you think, maybe 15, 20 feet?
Yeah.
Something like that?
It's pretty deep. Now, it's not super wide, but you know, you've got two sides for his and her stuff.
Yeah.
Not a bad size walk-in closet.
No,
not bad.
Probably about 6 feet wide, but even still, let me ask you this. How do you feel about not having a door on here?
Oh, I don't mind it.
You don't mind that?
I feel like not having a door opens up the whole bathroom. You know, I mean, why do you need a door? You know what I mean? If you know, I like it.
Yeah, you in the bathroom already.
Now, don't get me wrong. This right now, everything looks nice and tidy.
Sure.
If you live anything like me, the closet might be a mess. So not having a door on a messy closet, you might not like walking in here seeing that. So
I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt that. I appreciate that. And then here you're just gonna have a standard linen closet as well with a good amount of storage. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves on here. If you have more towels than you can fit on 5 shelves, then you and I have to have a discussion. So let's go take a look at the rest of the house.
So right here, we're looking at the kitchen, right? And we're looking at the dining room. You were talking earlier, you know, not having a lot of separation. This is an open concept.
This is.
Right, this is very open concept here. I don't quite know how I feel about having the kitchen table right there and then having to walk through this all the time. What do you think?
Sure, man. I think that I'm kind of with you on that. I think a lot of people like this because this is kind of a farmhouse styled house as far as the open concept goes. And that's a very in thing right now. You know, if you look back 10, 15 years, that this wasn't always what was in, you know? I mean, a lot of people like the sectioned off houses and they like separate spaces for everything. So I think it's one of those things where it's a trend. Some people like it, some people don't, but there's something out there for everybody. And this is a good option because this is very popular in 2023, 2024. I don't mind it at all. But again, like I said, different strokes for different folks.
Let's check out the upstairs.
Yes, now before we do go upstairs, I do want to point this out though. One thing I really like about David Weekley is their baseboards are huge. They're thicker than your standard baseboards. They're probably 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches instead of your standard 2. Nice. So just something I wanted to point out if you like the extra details in the trim. So let's go take a look upstairs and see what we got.
All right, walking upstairs, you walk right into a loft.
Yep.
Yep.
They have kind of it looks like they designed this as a theater room for right now, but I'm kind of mixed on this because while I don't like the way the carpet looks, I like the sound dampening effect that it has. So you could actually treat this as a movie room without having all that sound carried downstairs. So I appreciate that.
And you also don't have an open banister here that, you know, overlooks the living room downstairs. So you do have some, it is a lot quieter.
And if you have kids, you'll probably appreciate that it's not open because, you know, kids stick their legs everywhere, man.
Another thing too is that this loft is not directly over the living room. So if you're hanging out in the living room or even in the master bedroom, right? The loft is not directly over either one of those.
Yep, and it's not even directly over the master bedroom.
Right.
That's what you just said, isn't it?
I just said that, but you know what? You said it better.
That's all right, guys. Don't worry about it. All right, so over here you're gonna have one standard bedroom, and now the cool thing about this bedroom is that it does have a Jack and Jill bathroom, so I'm a pretty big fan of that. You do have the closet with the double doors that open. Again, it's nothing gonna be that's huge. Obviously,
standard size.
It's standard size. It's gonna be designed as a kid's room, which obviously, you know, kids grow out of their clothes like that all the time, so you don't need that much space. Now that being said, this does have the Jack and Jill, like I said, that walks through, which is really cool. And in addition to that, you're gonna have this other bathroom right here. So you have options for bathrooms. A lot of the times in these houses, we see like one bathroom upstairs. And I get it. I mean, you know, you might not always use it, but I think that it's nice that David Weekley went through with those extra touches and put more than one bathroom upstairs. So one thing about this floor plan, now this is gonna be a 4-bedroom and 2.5 bathroom floor plan, but you can get it up 3.5 bathrooms. As you can see, like this one here, we have the Jack and Jill, we have this one right here, we have that small little bathroom water closet downstairs, and then we have the master in the master bedroom. So a lot of options with this floor plan. And to be honest with you, for the price, I think it's really good to go. Now, while this community does start in the low to mid 300s and ranges all the way up to about the mid 400s, this home and floor plan in particular starts at about $368,000. And to be honest with you, you're getting a lot for your money with that when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's not the biggest house, but it's got enough space where you can get off to yourself and do your own thing and not feel like you're right on top of each other. So, you know, you come upstairs, you've got a loft and you've got bedrooms.
Exactly.
You know, and I would say, who would you say this house is for?
This house, I would say, is probably 2 steps above a starter home. David Weekley has a reputation as being a very good builder. Although, that said, this is one of the floor plans that is on the more affordable list. But even still, you're not really compromising quality. All you're doing is compromising size. And not everybody needs a 4,000 square foot house.
No, I think this is perfect for, you know, you have a few kids, they get up through school, high school, whatever. I think this is perfect for that.
And this is 2,500 square feet, man. So this is a really good size house.
It's laid out well for 2,500 square feet.
They did a good job, man. So back to these bedrooms. This is going to be very similar to that first bedroom that we took a look at with that Jack and Jill closet.
I'm gonna meet you on the other side. Walking through this Jack and Jill, double sinks in a shower.
You just couldn't resist yourself.
I had to walk through that. Yes, I did.
I can't take you anywhere.
And you've got your standard size water closet. It's got a tub shower combo, and it's big enough for what you need. Now, the space here in this bathroom though, when you walk into this bathroom with the toilet in the shower, you're gonna have to stand out of the way to close the door behind you. So I don't really like that too much because you kind of have to walk in, get out of the way, and then close the door behind you. That's kind of a bummer. But again, they're doing what they can with the space that they've got.
Yep, and honestly, they did a pretty good job. Now, this room is obviously gonna be designed as another bedroom, just like the other ones upstairs, but you can kind of see some of the options that you have as far as elevations for interiors for floor plans, right? Some of them are tile, some of them are vinyl planks. You see the carpet options, you see the cabinet options. So as you can see, these tiers and elevations of floor plans are gonna cost different prices, but it at least gives you a good idea of what you can get, and they all look good, to be honest with you. I don't see one that I'm like, ugh, so far.
Looks really good.
So let's check out that last bedroom and make sure that it's up to standard before we go and kind of wrap things up. Now this bedroom is different because it's the only bedroom in the front part of the house. So depending on which way faces west or which way faces east, where the sun's coming up, you might want to make this the guest bedroom depending on how your house is positioned. But again, very similar to those other bedrooms. Standard size, you got the standard size closet, and then you've got this nice window here. So yeah, I wouldn't put my kids up here because, you know, be sneaking out and whatnot. I don't know, I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, what kind of kids do you have?
I've got well-behaved kids, but in theory, I'm just trying to put myself in the other shoes and play devil's advocate here. So overall, man, I think it's really good. Let's go and kind of recap a little bit. All right, man, so what did you think of this David Weekley home, man?
So, like
Honestly.
I said at the beginning, I didn't think anyone was gonna be disappointed, and I don't think that they will be. I know that I wasn't. It's a really great product. What I was really impressed with is you get so many amazing and quality, I guess, standard things in the home, and the price of the homes are just great. I mean, of course, everybody wants a $200,000 home. Those don't exist anymore when it comes to quality like this, but starting in the mid threes, and then at the high end, you know, you're looking at mid fours.
Yep.
I mean, 350 to 450.
That's good.
For all these floor plans.
And where it's located for that price point, man. This is hard to beat.
It's really, really hard to beat. I really like Stillwater Ranch. It's a beautiful community. It's very large, and you're close to all the great things that you talked about in the map footage. I really am very, very impressed.
Yeah, man, me too. I think that you couldn't have said it any better. I agree with all those points. And David Weekley, I'm kind of partial to their designs. Obviously, Perry's really good too, where they're taking over, but I like David Weekley's designs just a little bit more. Just, again, personal preference. Nothing against Perry at all, but I just think they're a little different, you know?
Yep.
I think so.
I'd like to spend a little bit more time out in this community, and I think we will in the next few videos. We're gonna kind of stay out here for a while, guys, and show you what Chesmar has to offer, show you what Coventry has to offer.
Yep.
Because if you're looking for a great neighborhood in a great part of town with all the amenities around you, Stillwater Ranch just might be for you guys.
Dude, this is a great place of town, and not to mention, there are some very uniquely styled homes that we're gonna touch on in one of these next videos. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button because we're gonna be posting that video very soon.
All right, guys, we thank you for watching. We will catch you on the next one.
Take it easy, guys. We'll see you.